Since President Trump took office 3 months ago, his administration has ramped up its immigration crackdown, and some foreigners entering the United States are getting caught up in it. We've seen reports of travelers with valid work visas being told they can't enter the country, or tourists being detained at ports of entry. Several European nations have recently updated their travel guidance. Germany, for example, is warning its citizens, even if they have all the necessary paperwork, they may still be denied entry into the U.S. Héctor Quiroga joins us now. He's an immigration attorney. Héctor, thanks for being here. On what grounds can the Trump administration revoke a traveler visa? What are those travelers' rights?
So we have two kinds of visas. We have an immigrant visa and a non-immigrant visa. When you have an immigrant visa, you're coming to visit to maybe do very temporary business and a B2 visa. And because you're a visitor to the country, they actually have all the latitude that the law gives them to revoke it if they believe it was acquired under false pretenses, or maybe the person is outstaying the terms of that visa. When you have an immigrant visa, when somebody comes to reside in the United States, they have a little bit more rights, a little bit more teeth to say, hey, we went through the process of vetting and I should be allowed in. But it's pretty difficult because we have the Department of Homeland Security that becomes pretty obscure as to why they were revoked.
We've also seen reports of citizens, American citizens, who say they were temporarily detained at the border. Eventually, they were let in. But are there any limits to the government holding somebody at the border if the person is a citizen? And what are citizens' rights?
Right. So we have constitutional rights as citizens of the United States. The issue becomes on airports and ports of entry. Those constitutional rights are reduced to a point precisely because of the entry. They have to look for contraband and other things. So we are it's a different standard that they have. It's a little bit more intrusive than what we're used to, say, in a detain on a vehicle, for example, in a car in the highway. So they have a little bit more, but detaining them just prolonged time and getting into their phones and things like that is starting to bother into civil rights, and it's something that is probably going to be challenged very quickly.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that. So border agents seizing phones, searching electronic devices at ports of entry. What's the legal justification for that? Is that what you're talking about that you expect will be challenged soon?
Correct. So typically, just under all common constitutional law, they can look into to dispel some sort of crime, look into inquire something more. Now, having unfettered access to somebody's phone, it has your entire history, life history there. That's a little more intrusive than just trying to figure out the person is here to do harm to the country. Now, again, a lawful permanent resident, a citizen, or somebody who has an immigrant visa may have a better protection. Somebody with a tourist visa, for example, had a lot less ability to protect that information coming into the U.S.
So what is your advice to people, whether they have a tourist visa, an immigrant visa, or they're a citizen?
Well, I think all of us need to understand that when we come into the country, we will be subject to some search. Is somewhat natural. We also know that in the hundreds of thousands of people who come into the country, is very low incidence of what we see these reports. They're growing, and that's a concern. But be careful with what you bring and what you type and what you text. Remember, anything that is in writing, and from a lawyer, right? Everything you put in writing can be used as evidence, correct? So be very careful with what you write and make sure that everything is locked and not easily accessible.
Well, I'm sorry, are you saying be careful what you write, like in a private text message, because your phone may be searched?
That is correct. I mean, I think it's, if they see a text that can be interpreted in a different way, that can be used against you.
Héctor, hold on one second. Are we talking about a difference in in me sending a text that has threatening language? That's one thing. But me saying a text message to somebody and saying an opinion about something, are you also including that? Be careful about opinions.
Absolutely. If I have somebody a friend coming to the country, and you say something, hey, did you bring your work boots? Because we're gonna be doing something. The fact that it has the word work on it, they might think that the person is coming to work. So that deduction, they have a lot of latitude to interpret those texts, especially when it comes to an airport.
All right, Héctor Quiroga, a lot of questions. I could keep you here for a much longer time, but we got to go. Thank you.
Thank you.